Make sure that door's closed so it doesn't make any.
You'll always take a win, proud that we won homecoming, but we are so much better than we played today. Disappointed, we went from not having very many penalties to having outlandish ones today. I think the D-line had 5. They're just supposed to listen to when the ball moves, they move. That's all they're trained to do. We had procedure in the offensive line that we have not been having. Multiple on, one guy, 2 unnecessary roughness. We just were smarter than that. One of our goals is to be the hardest working, smartest football team in the Southland Conference. I love the win. I'm proud of these guys, but we've got a lot of work to do to get back on track from a discipline standpoint. Had a guy throw a ball into the stands or the suites, I sent him in. We're not going to represent this great university that way. We're going to be a football team that's disciplined and hardworking. Once again, I thought the defense, though, was outstanding today. The way they held them on 4th down, especially on the big red zone penetration, was a critical play in a football game. The wind was absolutely brutal. And it didn't matter if you were going into it or you had it. It was still hard on those quarterbacks how to judge a football. At first I thought Eric was trying to overpower it in the second quarter when we're going with the wind, and just was proud as he finally settled in, in the second half, scored those 17 points in the third quarter, and that's when we started to pull away. We wanted to get that win in the third quarter and try to pull away, and that's what we did. These 2 guys are cornerstones in this program. He had another 100-yard receiving game. I thought he had a second touchdown. He had an uncharacteristic. I'd already quit watching. I saw his hands go up and grab it, and I thought, one, I turned and said, "Dang." He doesn't do that very often, and this guy is just savvy football player. He's hard-working. He's a heavy hitter. He gets the whole secondary lined up. He's a very intelligent football player, and he plays with a lot of passion for this football game. And they both just continue to make plays and lead us. And probably where Drew has gotten the best is now he's a very physical blocker. Where a year ago he was just a receiver. I think he's turned into a total package wide receiver now that understands the importance of how it all works together and how he blocks. But anyway, I'll take it away, Drew.
Like you said, with my blocking, I feel like people think like when I score, like when I catch the ball and things like that, like I get excited. But my most exciting thing is when I block, like when I let other like running backs or even screens by the other receivers. When I get to block, when I get to make that block for them to make a big play, like I like that more than me scoring my own touchdowns. And I just love blocking.
How you feeling after you look like you injured yourself a little bit there?
Yeah, I tweaked my ankle a little bit. I was turned around, I was looking for the ref. I thought he was gonna throw a flag or something, so I was looking for him. I was like scooting sideways, and I just rolled my ankle a little bit. And I heard the other team laughing or whatever, but we came back out and just did what we did.
Darius, you guys have defense played outstanding all year, as Coach said. Third straight game where you guys had a test, an untested one. What are you guys doing just week in and week out to, really just set the bar, especially statistically being first in the conference with total defense?
I think it's the way we practice and the game plan. We got some smart coaches. It's nothing we knew this team, like their first 15 plays of every game is just different. Like, it's not gonna be no film on them. They come in 15 plays, and after that, they're pretty vanilla. Like, so our coaches told us, stay in the first 15, and then we got them. And we just know what the opponents are coming in and trying to do to what we do, and what we can do to combat what they do good. We take that away.
This defense is physical. Y'all take a lot of pride in that?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not gonna say what we say, but fast, violent, physical, man. My coach told me that in high school, my defensive coordinator, and I just try to live by that. And if I'm doing it, hey, everybody, we gotta be on the same thing.
Coach, real quick, this is your fourth straight win? Fourth straight win?
It's our 4th straight win.
What you've been doing this obviously for a while. What is it that you do to keep this team focused as they move on into a very big game next week against Incarnate Word?
I really, we talk to them all the time about just every day coming over here and being your best and grading yourself when you walk off the football field. But we also talk about how this football team, if we're going to do the things we want to do, you got to fall in love with each other, and you got to make the guys on your right and left, the other side of the ball, more important than yourself. I think we have a football team that cares about each other. I think we have a football team that wants to work hard for each other. And, you know, and we have a coaching staff that's incredible. You know, the players want to please the coaches want to please the players. There's a lot of trust and interaction going on right now. And no, I've seen no finger pointing at the offense or finger pointing at the defense. I see people turning toward each other out of trust to help, and not going to the benches and turning away from each other and complaining. And I think that's a tribute to the leaders on this football team.
Coach, when the wind's that bad, do you change the game plan as you're going along?
You have to. You know, it was really during camp. I'd look at the weather every night, and it'd say 103, gonna feel like 109, no chance of rain. So finally, about after 3 weeks, I thought I can start going to bed before the weather. I don't have to wait up for the same weather report. And you know, there's times there where they say it's 95% chance of rain, it doesn't happen. And then last night you're sitting there watching the weather and it's talking about 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gust, and thinking, man, I hope them people are wrong. You know? And they were right. That's why I gave up wearing a hat. There was no way to keep one on your head. But this football team is, you know, we're on a mission. We're on a quest. And one of the things they have brought over here, every time's a great attitude. We have not had a bad day of practice. We have not had a day I didn't walk off this field and thought, you know what, we put our best foot forward today. And that's a good feeling for a coach when you're surrounded by not only great players, but great people.
In the preseason poll, y'all were picked to finish sixth. Did everybody take that personally?
Sure we did. I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, that's part of our motivation. You know, when you're picked almost last, that puts a fire in your belly. You know, you want to prove people wrong, not prove them right. And I think that gave us a little more incentive to be where we are today.
Anything else? Thanks all.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
And you know what? What is that? He had 102 yards receiving today, so that's
7. 6 of 7.
6 or 7.
6 of 7.
100.
6 out of 7.
No, he
Don't
said
talk
6.
about
6 games. 100
He
yard
said
games.
6 out of 7.
6 out of 7.
6 out of 7.
6 out of 7.
They got put on the watch list, which that's, you know, that's big news for this football program.
Tell him keep watching.
2 touchdowns away from the school.